Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for a card making tutorial, and we're using Merry Snowflakes, the bundle today. This is the card I have made for my design team entry for this week's Inspire.Create challenge, which is a Case the Designer challenge. So it is the lovely Hannah's card that is our launch pad for the layout for this card. So in the description you'll see that there's a link to that Inspire.Create.Challenges blog. There you will see the inspiration card, and then of course all the other design team members' ideas on how to adapt and case that design. Alright, so do pop over to there and see what you think. I'd love to see what you create with this idea. And there's an opportunity there to enter a design, upload your photo, and the team picks a winner every other week. Okay, so this is challenge number 99, Case the Designer, and we're using Merry Snowflakes. So this is the card you'll see on there. Quite a bit of die cutting being done with the snowflakes, which are the main feature here. So the die set comes with 2 sheets of dies. It's probably flaring all over the place. Let's take them all out. Okay, so you've got a whole heap of different designs, some of them embossed and some of them cut. So lots and lots of choice there in terms of die cuts, and then we've got some really nice images that we can stamp, which also coordinate with the dies too. So you can stamp and die cut, or just die cut combination, and we've got some nice sentiments too. Okay, so I've actually done a lot of the prep for this already. So as I do, I try and offer up a different colourway, okay, and something a little different to the sample. So this one's using the Peaceful Place, I think it's called. Speciality DSP. It's got foiling on it. It's really gorgeous. It's basic grey, which is the base card, and then we've got the silver and the white coming through. So I've actually used smoky slate there for the snowflakes, just to make them lift off a little bit, and then the coordinating basic grey for the sentiment. Okay, so I thought we'd switch it up and use this paper. This comes from the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper, which is a celebration paper that you can actually earn for free without a qualifying order. And this measures, if I remember rightly, so of course I prepped this before, didn't I? So this is 3 5/8 square. Okay, it's a regular card base, but I've done the mat a little smaller so I get more of the fresh freesia colour coming through. So the mat itself, I believe, is 3 3/4, yes, by 5 1/2, yes. Okay, so that's that. Okay, just pop that back. So very easy to put this together, because this is going to sit very nicely within the margins of the bottom here, and so we've got this gap at the top. Alright, so like I say, all I did was square off this panel instead of keeping it whole. Alright, so we'll just use some seal to stick down that paper. Just a couple of strips of that. So we'll just position this at the bottom like we would do if it was a full layer. It's just that it's not going to go all the way to the top. Easy peasy. Before we stick it to the card base, we want to add some ribbon across there. So I'm going to actually use the a glitter organdy ribbon, which I got out and I've put down and I can't now see. Where did I put it? It was literally here just as, oh, I put my sample card on top of it. That was daft of me, wasn't it? So this is the glitter organdy ribbon in the white. So it already had a black version, but the glitter on it sort of has sort of pink hues to it, which I thought would complement the fresh freesia quite nicely. So I'll cut a length of that to span across the back, and then an additional length to cut a bow, to tie a bow I should say. Okay, so we're just going to secure that over the back. So what I do is I just run a couple of tabs of seal across the back there, and then we'll drape that over the front, wrap it around the back and secure that like so. And now that can go straight onto our card base. I'm going to put plenty of seal above and below where that ribbon connects, and we'll put that on. Just looking to get our borders all nice and even. Really nice and easy to do this is, okay, just a bit of trimming to the right dimensions, and this is how you get your card base. So this is really great layout for beginners if you want to do something a little bit different to just a full card front. Okay, so that's really nice and simple. Okay, I'm going to tie my bow ready. I do my bows using the bunny ear method, so I'm just going to make 2 loops there and cross them over and wrap them around each other. Let the tails do whatever they're going to do. Just keep hold of your loops if you can, she says, letting go of it. Oh, whoops a daisy. Let's try that again. Okay. Just try and keep tabs on where that goes. Right, okay. Was a little stingy with my length of ribbon, but if you just pull those loops as tight as you can to start off with, and then fiddle about with how big or small you want your bow to be. So I don't want this to be huge because I don't want it to overlap the sentiment too much. Okay, so it just takes a bit of messing about just to get your ribbon and your tails and stuff exactly the right length. I'm not going to cut the tails until I'm ready to stick it on. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. I've gone ahead and die cut the snowflakes already. So I did one of this one, and then I did 3 of these sort of smaller ones. So we've got an odd number in total. And then the only thing we need in addition is a sentiment. So I've just got a scrap of cardstock here and the Merry Everything sentiment mounted on my H block. I'm going to use the coordinating Fresh Freesia ink. Beautiful colour. It's purpley enough to not be pink, and it's pink enough not to be too purple. It's kind of a nice middle ground colour. Okay, just firm pressure over that, hold it down for a couple of seconds. Brilliant, lovely image with our red rubber cling stamps. And that's one of the in colours, by the way, so that came into circulation in the summer. Beautiful colours. I'm just going to lay this die over the top to cut this out. You can just use a trimmer if you want to keep it even more simple. This is one of the stitched rectangles, so they're a firm favourite in my crafty stash. Very useful for this kind of thing. So just running that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it just cuts those out like a dream. Okay, just press it out carefully from the die. And there it is, and we've got that wonderful stitch detail. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, I'm going to need some dimensionals to put onto the back of that. I'm actually going to use some minis. Don't need big ones, so we'll just put a couple at the top and a couple at the bottom, like so. And right, we're going to position our bow over here, and just used a glue dot for that. By far the best way to stick down a sentiment. What am I talking about? What's that called? A bow. A bow. Really good and strong. I mean, that's not going to come off unless you really yank at it. Okay, and then we're going to tuck in the sentiment. Now, because it's sheer ribbon, it doesn't matter if it overlaps a little bit, but I'm just looking to just catch the edge of the layer. I just think it just pulls things together when that layer just overlaps just ever so slightly. So we're going to trim those ribbons now. Now that we've got that in place, good sharp scissors for cutting your ribbon. So I tend to just use those big scissors there for the ribbon. I'm going to bring in a silicone craft sheet. This is a wonderful, inexpensive sheet which has lots of uses, not least just keeping your surface clean. It's also really good for, you know, if your ink pad's like jittering about. So sometimes when you're inking up, it makes a bit of a noise on your desk, but if you put it on one of these, it just reduces that noise a little bit, stops it slipping around. So the large snowflake, I'm just going to put some dabs of glue on some strategic points there. Just pick that up carefully. Oops, fingers and thumbs then, wasn't I? To slot that in over here. Any glue that sort of squidges out the side will dry clear, so never fear, that will be okay. This one with the more solid centre is perfect for a mini dimensional. Okay, so I'm going to add that one with a dimensional, and this one's going to tuck in sort of in the ribbon and bring that together there. And then we're just going to add these small ones here and there. Okay, so again, some dabs of glue on there. Is all we need. So we need one to keep this one company down here. Remember our odd numbers, and tucking things underneath and all that kind of stuff. I don't mind that some of the edges are lifting slightly either, just gives it another sort of dimensional element, and a bit of texture and a bit of movement, you know, a bit of interest on an otherwise quite simple card. So I think we'll have this one closer to there. There we go, lovely. And then the finishing touch here are some rhinestones. Okay, so we could colour the rhinestones to match, but I do like the clear ones for just simplicity really. So one of these large ones fits reasonably well inside this large snowflake. It's not perfect, but it'll do. And then I'm going to use some of the little diddy ones. I can hear cats having a ding dong outside. I was like, what is that noise? And I just realised what it is. Seem to have a lot of new cats in the area, so of course they're trying to work out where they're all supposed to be, aren't they? With their territories and stuff. So there we are, some wonderful little rhinestones that just add a bit of sparkle. Just got a touch of glue on my fingers, which is making this a little bit more difficult than it should be. And there we have it. Isn't that cute? And I think it's good to use colours that aren't necessarily traditional, shall we say, when we're using things like snowflakes and stuff. So this was the original. This is a fresh freesia one that I've just made with you. And I did do another sample just to throw something else into the mix. This also uses one of the free papers, which Peaceful Prints, I think it's called. White snowflakes, but I've used a black mat, which brings out those snowflakes at the top, and this wonderful gingham ribbon, real red, for the sentiment. Okay, so 3 lovely cards there, all using Hannah's card as inspiration. Links etc are going to be in the description. Do check it out. Love to see what you make, see your entries. Thanks for joining me again today. Stay safe out there, won't you? Take care. Bye.